Nanoleaf 4D or Govee TV Backlight T3, in my opinion, the best, but far the best backlight TVs that you have on the market. And I have to say to you guys, it's really difficult to pick one. And I'm going to do this video for you so you can be aware with your needs which one is the best for you. If you want to know everything about it, stay tuned until the end of the video. Hi everyone, Marcus here from MADpack, and if you love tech and if you love discounts, this is the place for you because everything that I bring to you guys have links on the description below. And today we are going to compare my two favorite backlights that you have on the market, the Nanoleaf 4D against the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. That I have to say, this one came out to compete against this one because this one is a complete monster. But there is multiple situations that I prefer one to the other. First of all, let's talk about installation. And you know, I simply hated to install the Nanoleaf 4D because the LEDs, they don't have glue enough. It's just one strip light and it is really frustrating to install this one. When we talk about installation, the Govee continues to be the best because it's just one strip light on the top, one on the side, another one, and another one. So it's very simple to set it up. The glue is much stronger, so no problem whatsoever in there. When we talk about connecting to the phone, I have to say that once again, the Govee is better than the Nanoleaf. The Nanoleaf, you need to reset it. It's not an easy process, but when you pass there, when we talk about calibrating the LEDs with your TV, I used to say that the Nanoleaf was better, but now the Govee, even if you don't calibrate, I don't know what they've done to that camera, but it's insane. Even if you don't calibrate, you can get basically the same results that I get right now, even after calibrating. So definitely a massive plus with the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. But when we talk about calibrating colors and everything, I have to give that, and it's a massive point, to the Nanoleaf 4D. Here you can calibrate the saturation, the brightness, the dynamic range, the white balance. Here you can basically set it up, the brightness and the saturation. And after you can slide that now is not by stops, but is by percentage, so it's a bit more accurate, but it's just a slide that you pull in direction of reds or you pull in direction of blues. Not the same type of calibration that you couldn't do here. So if you are picky like me, that's a massive point for the Nanoleaf 4D. And when we talk about speed, reaction, how fast the colors react to what is happening on the TV, which ones have more delay, and I have to say that the Nanoleaf 4D have more delay than the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. This one is insanely fast, and I'll say that it's very close to an experience with a sync box. It's really good. This point goes to the Govee TV Backlight T3. When we talk about prices, definitely is another point for Govee because the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite is cheaper than the Nanoleaf 4D. So the next one is related with Matter, and in this case both of them are compatible with Matter, but I need to go and I need to dive a little bit more into this. When we look to Nanoleaf, majority of their products have Matter compatibility. So in other words, majority of the things that you'll be able to connect here and connect to Sync Plus, that we'll talk later, you have more possibilities to have a product that is compatible to connect to this one than to Govee. Govee is just starting now with Matter products. So before you needed the bridge to be able to connect, for example, your Govee products to Apple Homekit. If Matter is something really important for you, yes, you'll have in both. It's still not available on the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite, but soon they are going to release an update, and in that case both of them will have. But like I said, you have more products with Matter at the moment that I'm reviewing these two products with Nanoleaf 4D than you have with Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. So in that case, the point goes to Nanoleaf 4D. The next one is related with color accuracy, and it's really difficult because this one does something that I never saw the Nanoleaf 4D being able to do, but this one does something that Govee never managed to do. I think that color irritates me more. This one do much better reds and color schemes than the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. But when something is changing from a blue to a green, man, the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite is insanely good. You have a bit more depth in colors, with the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite when it's that kind of colors, but here is so much more realistic when you have much more skin tones or reds and yellows. This one is much better, and since color of the skin is so important for me, I'll give that point to the Nanoleaf 4D. So the next one that I have to give the point to the Nanoleaf 4D is dynamic range. And when I talk about dynamic range, I'm not talking about speed, because this one is faster than this one, changing things, and this one you constantly see a delay that here is really rare to notice something like that. But this one change much more often what is happening. And another thing that is another point to the Nanoleaf 4D is this one is much brighter than the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. The reason behind is with this one you are not able to have the saturation in the maximum, because if you do that you have really bad reds, as you know, and I hate that. And if I do, or if I try to mimic both and giving the same experience when we talk about the colors, and I want that color is not distractive and is the amount of light is more or less matching what is happening on the screen, here I can have more brightness. So that's why this is basically 2 points to the Nanoleaf 4D and 0 points about this dynamic range and brightness to the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. The next one is very personal. I prefer 100 times more the controller on the Nanoleaf 4D, just because you have the turn on and turn off on the front in rubber. The build construction is better than the one that you find on the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite, but it's still good, it works well, no problem whatsoever. You have 3 buttons in there. Here I can turn on straight away also the 4D experience, so something that I really like, but I give that point also to the Nanoleaf 4D. It seems that I'm going more towards here, but believe me, it is not that. You'll notice a little bit further down the line. The next one is for Govee, and we talk about gaming and cartoons. So if you do a lot of gaming and cartoons, I'll say that this one is better, because since it's faster, it responds much quicker. And that's really important when you play games. When you look to cartoons, you have so much colors, a bigger predominance, or a blue or a green or a red or whatsoever is the color that is in there. When you go to a Nanoleaf 4D, that color is there, but it's brighter, but is not so saturated, if it makes sense. If I saturate more with the Govee, I'm going to lose that experience. So if it makes sense, here I have more predominant of blue light or green or whatever than on the Govee. So for that reason, for gaming and for cartoons, I have to give that point to the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. On the other hand, if you are going to see something that is really bright, have a lot of skins, I have to give that point to the Nanoleaf 4D, because the Govee TV Backlight T3 becomes too saturated. Like I said before, for games and cartoons, point here. For a brightness environment with a lot of faces, I'll give the Nanoleaf 4D a point. Another thing that you want to consider deciding between these two is when the screen is all white, which ones do I prefer? And here is really a preference. So if you have a white color, in here with my settings, I have a little bit more warm feeling of that white, if it makes sense. Here is colder, so it's more blue. And here is a little bit more yellow. So if you prefer a little bit more blue, the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite will give a better job. If you want something a little bit warmer in the white, this one will deliver a better job. So it's really hard for me to give a point, because this is basically my own preference. And if I go with my own preference, I have to give that point to the Nanoleaf 4D. The next one is for guys that needs to buy a backlight TV for a small TV, something under 55 inches. That's a no-brainer, Nanoleaf 4D, because here you can cut the LEDs to fit your TV and calibrate the corners of your TV, because it's just one strip light. And here, because you have one strip light on the top, one on the side, one on the other side, and one on the bottom, you can't really cut. So for that reason, I'll give that point to the Nanoleaf 4D. So when we talk about connectivity with other products, I have to give that point to Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite, because here you have so much more products to connect. And if we talk about how cheap they are, once again, is another point to Govee because all the accessories, all the other lights that you can connect here, they are much cheaper than Nanoleaf. Nanoleaf is much more pricey, but also the connectivity of this one with different platforms is much bigger than Govee. But if you are searching for amount of products and different type of products and cheaper, Govee is your choice. Another thing that I want to point it out, and this point goes once again to Nanoleaf 4D, is Matter compatibility. Even if they have less products, they have more products compatible with Matter. But in the moment that I'm recording, this one is not compatible with Matter yet. It's going to come, but it's still not compatible. When we look to the range of products that Govee delivers to us, majority of them, they don't deliver Matter compatibility. So for that case, I'll give the point to the Nanoleaf 4D. The next one, and I don't even have the boxes on my hands because this one is really important for me, is comparing Sync Plus from Nanoleaf against DreamView from Govee. What is this? It's basically just their software to connect other devices to your backlight TV. If we talk about my living room, just here I have 7 lights that I want in the near future to be all connected or to Sync Plus or to DreamView. I have to give that point Nanoleaf 4D. And if Govee is hearing and Nanoleaf is hearing, I want to see you guys accepting to connect to other devices outside of your brand. Because maybe I prefer to have a Nanoleaf 4D here or a Govee TV Backlight T2, but I prefer the hexagons from Nanoleaf because they are bigger than the ones from Govee, and so on and so on. So I would like that Sync Plus and the DreamView is possible to connect to other brands, so in that way I'm not stuck just with one brand, if it makes sense. But let's jump again in the big difference between these two. And I have to say to you guys, I prefer, at this moment, I prefer the Sync Plus. The reason is, when you go to the Sync Plus, I can see the room. I can see where is set it up the hexagons on my living room, where is set it up my TV that is next to a corner, where is the lamps. And don't get me wrong, Wi-Fi products with Matter, they are still not possible to connect to Sync Plus, but really soon they will be. But this allows, in this case, Nanoleaf to be more precise on those lights. So even yesterday I was just seeing a TV show and that girl just came in and turned off the lights, and when he turned off here, or he turned on the lights, those lights, those hexagons, they turned on. So it seems that she was controlling my living room. Definitely a massive plus of Sync Plus. When you jump to DreamView, yes, you can connect to other devices, but you can't really decide which part of the room is set it up. So definitely a bummer for me. So which light do I choose? And I have to say to you guys that when I was comparing the Govee T2 against the Nanoleaf, was super easy for me to stick to the Nanoleaf 4D. It was a no-brainer if you want. But now when I put side by side the Govee T3 Lite against the Nanoleaf 4D, man, it was super hard for me to decide. And I have to say, it's going to be really painful for me to remove this one from my TV because I decided to stick with Nanoleaf. And this is a message directly to Govee. I love your product. It's simply an insane experience, and I'm still thinking to maintain these two because I prefer one in a situation and I prefer the other in another. But you guys need to upgrade your software. The app is really on the past. You need to give us more possibilities, dynamic range, white balance, all those things, not just a slide going more towards the reds or towards the blues. If Govee is able to do that upgrade, and also when you go to DreamView, giving the possibility to choose where is what, like the Sync Plus gives to us, but like I said, also to Nanoleaf, can you please give us the possibility to measure the room, how far they are, how high they are from the floor, and counting where is the starting point of, for example, an hexagon. If that is possible to do, it's going to be even better. But until then, this is my full comparison between the Nanoleaf 4D and the Govee TV Backlight T3 Lite. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. My name is Marco, this is MADpack. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, smash the thumbs up, do whatever you want, but always with a smile on your face. And I hope to see you in the next one.